Two Australian coaches, two Australian captains have got their squads ready for the clash this afternoon. Welcome to the show, Andrew, Paul, Sanchit and Manish. By now, my viewers would have figured out the reason for your being here, Andrew. Thank you very much for being on my show. Clash of two Australian captains, Smith and Warner. Take your pick for today.
Yeah, thanks, Rika, for having me on. It's going to be really exciting. Smith and Warner, obviously, both very experienced, played together for New South Wales, played together for Australia. And I think, they both need a win today. Rajasthan, obviously, they've lost their last four, and Hyderabad as well. They're 3-3, and they really need a win to keep in touch with the top four. So it's going to be a great challenge. I think, it's a shame that neither of them bowl that much, so we won't see them one-on-one, but both bragging rights in the dressing room, but also a step towards the ultimate bragging rights of winning the IPL today. It's a really important game for both of them.
Paul, your pick today for the first match in Dubai. It's going to be hot conditions. Rajasthan taking on Hyderabad. Who do you think will get the better of the other?
Yeah, just talking about the conditions, it's not actually that bad. I've just been out there for about an hour, and it's much improved on what it has been until this point. For this game, I think the team that needs to win the most is definitely Rajasthan Royals, Steve Smith's team. I think they obviously had a brilliant start to the tournament, but they've been pretty beleaguered ever since. Whether they're going to get Stokes involved and adding a real pick-me-up to their fortunes, that's obviously the big thing that we were awaiting to see. But I really think they need the result more than Sunrisers do. So
right.
Make that what you will.
Sanchit, let me come to you. Rajasthan Royals, would you say your messiah is here? Today, Stokes is going to be fielded by the Rajasthan Royals.
Well, yes, that's actually a good news for us. We lack Ben Stokes, someone like Ben Stokes in the middle order. But hopefully that he's able to put up a great performance from day one. But it's too much expectations on him, I believe. And I think the pitch conditions today actually suits his bowling more than batting. So hopefully he will be able to contribute to a winning performance.
Right. Manish, to you, would you say that one man, Ben Stokes, coming in the middle order could make a whole lot of difference in today's game against your team, Hyderabad?
Well, yes, Ben Stokes is a champion player, and playing him would be certainly a huge advantage for the Rajasthan Royals. But I feel that the Sunrisers Hyderabad also have match winners on their side, so we can put on a great match as well.
Andrew, coming to you, you spoke about both these captains, Smith and Warner, playing for South Australia. How has the rivalry been previously, if you could tell our viewers? Because both of them know each other very well, and knowing each other on the cricket field, having grown up together, how would that really play out in a contest, in a high-intensity contest like this?
Yeah, I think they both have, as you said, playing together for New South Wales, they'd have a knowledge of each other's weaknesses but also their strengths. And I think in a game like T20 where every ball is an event, and it's just knowing the weapons that they have at their disposal. Obviously, working with the IPL franchises, they're working with a lot of players that they haven't worked with before. But then again, Steve Smith, for example, he's got Jofra Archer, and he'll know that Dave Warner has struggled against Jofra Archer in the past, in the one-day series just gone, and in the Ashes series last year. And that'll be something that, he knows his bowler and he knows the batsman he's coming up against. And that'll just be a really good edge for him to have today.
Interesting. Paul, would you say that is one of the matchups you will be looking forward to, Archer against Warner, given that he's not performed really well against Archer in the series that just went by?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's a very important battle, because if Warner can blunt Archer, I think, depending on what happens with Stokes, if he can come in and bowl well, then I think Archer's obviously clearly the main threat. But other than that, the Rajasthan Royals bowling attack has been pretty impotent. So if Warner can hold his own at least and not get out against Archer, then that'll be a big bonus for his side and probably go a long way towards them winning the game, actually.
Manish, Rashid against Smith, that is one of the matchups I am looking forward to. Do you think that's going to play out big way in this match?
Rashid has been the biggest X factor in our team, and he's always troubled every batsman, whoever has faced him in this particular season. And I feel he can get the better of Smith. And Smith in the past has been seen struggling against leg spin, so I believe Rashid can pick him.
Sanchit, talking about your batting lineup, there has been a lot of changes, shuffling, and every game has opened up new wounds. Would you say that once again we can expect a new batting order tonight? In fact, this afternoon.
Yeah, well, certainly. I think Robin Uthappa is again back into this side. So it looks like we are going to try another set of combinations. Hopefully this time we actually stick to one combination, as I said earlier, because Sunrisers have a very good bowling attack, and the key bowler for them is Rashid Khan. I think if you could just manage to survive his 4 overs and then look to target the other bowlers, I think that would be really good since we are chasing.
Andrew, we know that Ashes is a rivalry every Australian looks forward to. It is very intense, but when it comes to the IPL field, they're all friends. We've seen how Bairstow and Warner have got together in the last match, and that 160-run fabulous partnership. It seems that, you know, it's all about being friends and friendly banter, and there is no rivalry at all between the Aussies and the English.
Yeah, it's been a surprise. It's been a nice or an unnice surprise, depending on your perspective. But yeah, I think we saw, especially last year as well, Warner and Bairstow got along really well. They were hugging after each other's 50s and centuries. And, you know, I think it's, in one way, it's great to see. And they're learning more about each other. As we were talking before about Jofra Archer and Dave Warner, this will be another test that they can have at each other before the Ashes next year. But that said, even after all that hugging, it was a pretty closely fought Ashes last English summer. And, you know, once they get over the line, those rivalries are really back on.
Paul, let's talk about the Rajasthan captain, Steve Smith. He's hoiking and slogging his way in search of runs and a way out of trouble. He is not playing a Steve Smith-like innings. Would you say that's because of pressure and there isn't a support cast right now, and it could change with the coming of Ben Stokes?
I think that's absolutely right. Yes, the coming of Ben Stokes will fill a hole in the middle order. So he should feel like he can play a bit more freely at the top without playing these, exactly like you said, hoiking and slogging and non-Steve Smith style shots. If he stays at the crease for 50 or 60 balls, he'll be fine. He doesn't need to worry about upping the rate immediately as soon as he gets out there, which is fallen for the last few games. And the same sort of goes for Sanju Samson as well. It feels like the top order of Rajasthan Royals have been feeling a lot of pressure because there was a gap in the middle order of their side and they were light on runs there. So I think, yeah, he just needs to, I'm sure that it'll provide a little bit of a cushion having Stokes further down, but it just needs to, when your team's not performing, obviously, and you're the captain, obviously that heaps a lot more pressure on you than if you were just a batsman who was failing and you could then just focus on yourself. But it really just needs perhaps to trust a little bit more the rest of his side and then just focus a little bit more on playing like Steve Smith. And then obviously, as we know, if he does that, he should be getting back to the runs.
Sanchit, would you say that the Royals should continue to keep their faith in young Yashasvi Jaiswal? He seems to have a little bit of problem with his confidence out there. He's had a phenomenal Under-19 World Cup. Coming into the IPL, what seems to be lacking is confidence.
I think he should have been given a longer rope. It dents the confidence of every young player if you have played in one match and dropped in the other. So I think that the Royals should actually put faith in the young Yashasvi Jaiswal. But it actually means that the main issue lies in the middle order. So the amount of pressure on young Yashasvi Jaiswal was immense in the last game. And with Smith and Samson not firing, it was actually his first opportunity to play an anchor role, and he could not.
Manish, quickly a word from you on the middle order, on the Sunrisers middle order. Though we do know that they have had a perfect match in the last game, but that is courtesy Warner and Bairstow. We really haven't seen a lot of responsibility on the middle order. Do you see problems there still now? Because, you know, Manish Pandey has played a few games for you. Kane Williamson also is trying to finish off. But middle order, still a worry for your team?
Yes, we have always had middle order woes, but Manish Pandey and Kane Williamson are the main pillars who will be responsible to anchor our innings throughout and probably finish it as well. And yet again, we have kept backing our young middle order. If we go down the batting order, we have young Abdul Samad, Abhishek Sharma, and Priyam Garg. These are relatively young players as far as the IPL platform is concerned. So it's all about backing our young talent and having faith in them. And I feel that they can rise up to the occasion and do good for us.
Andrew, to wrap up the discussion, this is also a battle of super Australian coaches, and there is no English in the equation. On one hand, we see Shane Warne, who's the mentor of one side, and on the other, we see IPL and World Cup winning coach. So would you say that, Aussies are overall having a tremendous impact on this tournament?
I think so. Australian coaches, as you said, Trevor Bayliss, he won the World Cup with England. Shane Warne, has always been one of the keenest minds and has been with the Rajasthan Royals ever since the first year when they won the tournament. And, it's really great to see. We've got the biggest contingent of non-Indian players, but Australian coaches as well. It's great to see us having that relationship here in the IPL and, creating some successful teams. It's really great to see.
Lovely. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me on the broadcast this afternoon, and we shall hope to follow that cracker of a contest with you.